I'll never forget the morning I stepped outside and saw my brand new mailbox, custom-made to match my house, lying shattered in the middle of Maple Grove's pristine street. Letters were strewn everywhere, fluttering like confetti, while cars swerved to avoid the mess. And there, bold as brass, stood my neighbor Linda Harper, the iron-fisted president of our HOA, screaming at our mailman, her face redder than a fire truck. She was jabbing her finger into his chest, ranting about community standards and illegal deliveries. The poor guy, Mike, clutched his mailbag like a shield, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. "You can't deliver to non-compliant houses," Linda shrieked, her voice echoing down the block. Neighbors peeked out, phones in hand, recording the chaos. I stood frozen, my jaw on the ground, realizing this woman had just destroyed my property and was now waging war on the U.S. Postal Service. I'd only been in Maple Grove for 3 months, chasing the dream of a quiet life after years in a noisy downtown apartment. This upscale neighborhood, with its tree-lined streets and manicured lawns, seemed perfect, modest but charming, promising peace. On Moving Day, my neighbor Sam stopped by with a welcome basket and a warning. "Watch out for Linda Harper," he whispered, glancing around like she might pop out of the bushes. "She's the HOA president and takes it way too seriously. Last month, she fined me $25 because my grass was half an inch too tall." I chuckled, thinking he was joking. He wasn't. The trouble started almost immediately. Within a week, passive-aggressive notes appeared on my door. "Your trash can was VY Cybel for 3 hours post-collection. See HOA Bylaws, Section 4, Paragraph 6. Then came fines for Leah VYing my garage door open too long, while unloading groceries, for painting my window trimmed the wrong shade of white apparently. There are 17 approved shades, and I'd picked number 18 and for VYing a welcome mat from an unapproved vendor. Each fine came with a smug explanation of the rule I'd broken. I tried reasoning with Linda, but she'd just purse her lips and say, "Rules are rules, James. Maybe Maple Grove isn't for everyone." The idea that I should leave my new home made my blood boil, but I bit my tongue. The real drama kicked off when I replaced my rusty old mailbox with a sleek, custom one. It matched my house perfectly, complied with postal regulations, and most importantly had been approved by the HOA's architectural committee. I thought I'd dotted every I and crossed every T. But Linda? She was furious. The day after I installed it, she stormed over, while VYing a stack of papers. "This mailbox VY OLAT's community standards," she snapped, her voice dripping with contempt. "It's too unique, drawing attention to your property." I showed her the approval documents, calm as could be. "The committee signed off on it, Linda. It's all in order." Her face twitched like she'd bitten a lemon. "The committee made a mistake," she hissed. "This will be addressed at the next board meeting." What followed was a month-long crusade to erase my mailbox from existence. Linda sent letters demanding I replace it within 48 hours or face escalating penalties. She slapped me with daily fines I refused to pay. She even tried to rewrite the HOA bylaws to ban custom mailboxes, a plan that flopped when the board realized half the neighborhood would have to replace theirs too. Her obsession grew weirder by the day. One afternoon, I caught her yelling at Mike, our mailman, insisting he stop delivering to my house because my mailbox was unauthorized. Mike, bless him, explained he couldn't legally withhold mail over an HOA spat, which only made her scream louder. "Do you know who I am?" she bellowed, loud enough to wake the dead. "I run this neighborhood, not the Postal Service. Neighbors started texting me about Linda's unhinged Beha VY, or one saw her measuring lawns at midnight with a flashlight. Another caught her rifling through recycling bins, hunting for sorting violations. Someone even installed a security camera after suspecting Linda had rearranged their potted plants to sit exactly 12 inches from their porch edge per Bylaw 7, Section 3. I decided to install cameras too, and thank God I did. One morning, I woke up to find my mailbox gone, not damaged, not tagged, just vanished. I checked my security footage and nearly choked. There was Linda at 5:15 a.m. in a bathrobe and slippers, wrestling my mailbox out of the ground with a crowbar. After minutes of grunting and tugging, she yanked it free, dumped my mail on the lawn, and dragged the whole thing into the street like a trophy before strutting home. But the footage got juicier. Later that morning, when Mike's mail truck rolled up, Linda intercepted him before he could report the missing box. The camera didn't catch sound, but her wild gestures and Mike's stunned face said it all. Later, Mike told me she'd offered him $50 to claim my mailbox was abandoned junk he'd reported for removal. Mike, shaken, said, "I've been a mailman for 17 years. I've dealt with dogs, storms, and grumpy folks, but I've never been asked to lie about a federal crime." He reported it to his super visor and filed a police report, since tampering with mailboxes is no joke. I handed over my footage and a folder full of Linda's harassment every note, fine, and threatening letter. Word spread like wildfire through our neighborhood group chat. Neighbors I barely knew shared their own Linda horror stories. Fines for a basketball hoop 2 inches too tall, daily citations for unapproved bird feeders, even threats of EVY tie-in for a mom running a small baking business. For the first time, I realized I wasn't alone. The community, tired of Linda's reign of terror, started to fight back. Neighbors offered to testify, and others shared their own stacks of bogus fines. While waiting for the police to act, I installed a new, identical mailbox, this time anchored in concrete with reinforced posts. I added more cameras, covering every inch of my yard. 3 days later, the drama hit its peak. I was working from home when I heard shouting. Peering out, I saw Linda standing in the street, physically blocking Mike's mail truck. "You can't deliver mail here," she screeched, her voice like nails on a chalkboard. This entire block violates HOA standards. Mike, calm as ever, explained he had to deliver mail, HOA or not. That sent Linda into a frenzy. She slapped the truck's hood, screaming about her husband's golf buddy, the regional postmaster, and how Mike would be delivering mail in Alaska by next week. What Linda didn't see was the police car pulling up behind the truck. 2 officers stepped out as she ranted about corrupt mailmen and mailbox terrorism. When they asked her to step away from the federal vehicle, she snapped, "You don't understand. I'm the HOA president. I make the rules." One officer calmly noted that blocking mail delivery was a federal offense, but Linda was too far gone. When they tried to guide her away, she swatted at an officer's hand. Big mistake. In seconds, she was in handcuffs, screaming about her rights and her lawyer. As they led her to the patrol car, she locked eyes with me on my driveway. "This is your fault," she howled. "You and your illegal mailbox. I'll sue you for everything." I couldn't help I gave a little wave as they stuffed her in the back seat. The neighborhood watched, stunned, as Linda, the tyrant of Maple Grove, was driven away, still yelling from inside the car. The charges were serious: vandalism, harassment, mail tampering, and interfering with a federal employee. The postal inspector got involved, making it a big deal. At her arraignment, Linda looked like a shadow of herself. No perfect hair, no designer clothes, just a plain blouse and a weak excuse about enforcing rules. The judge wasn't buying it. She got 6 months of probation, Dula 1,800 in fines, 100 hours of community service, ironically, sorting mail at the post office, and a restraining order barring her from me, my property, or any mail carriers. The HOA board kicked her out as president that same day. As she was escorted from the emergency meeting, her face was pure shock, like she couldn't believe she'd face consequences. The next morning, I found a letter in my new, rock-solid mailbox, an apology from the HOA board, promising Linda's actions didn't reflect our community. It was signed simply the new board. For the first time since moving in, Maple Grove felt like home. So what do you think? Was Linda just a control freak who snapped? Or did the HOA system push her over the edge? Should I have fought her sooner or played nice to avoid the chaos? And what about the neighbors? Were they complicit for staying quiet so long? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if you're team Mailbox, and subscribe for more wild stories.